Welcome to Let's Get Creative with Sam, the podcast. I'm Sam Rawlins and I'm a children's creative counsellor. That means I help kids unlock their imaginations and explore the amazing world of creativity. But being creative can also be a great way to take care of our minds and feelings, which is super important. In this podcast, we'll be doing all sorts of fun things. We'll be sharing creative tips and tricks that can help us feel good, interviewing other awesome creative folks in the industry who use creativity for mental well-being, and maybe even doing some creative challenges together that can help us express ourselves. So buckle up, get ready to unleash your creativity and explore how it can help us feel our best, and let's have some fun. Hello, hi everyone. It's time for the next recording of my podcast. But today is a little bit different and a little bit special. I am here with the amazing Claire Marshall, and we are going to do our episode here. So let's start the show. Hi Claire.
Hello.
We're all both a little bit nervous because it's a little bit different, but we are here in the beautiful grounds of Temple Museum. So do you want to tell everybody, Claire, who you are?
Okay, so I'm Claire. I'm from Inside Nature Wellbeing. I'm a Nature Based Psychotherapist and a forest therapy guide.
Thank you so much. So the reason that we're outside is because, as Claire says, she's a nature therapist. So do you want to tell everybody what that means?
Okay, so I use nature alongside traditional psychotherapy techniques. I do most of my sessions outdoors, and we bring nature into those sessions as much as possible, as much as the client wants to, basically.
And do you find them kind of like, so I work in a room, I hire a room, and I'm kind of in the process of wanting and ready to take my clients outside. Have you noticed any difference, like the benefits of working outside?
Yeah, there's lots of benefits of working outside. So the big one is that it kind of takes away that feeling of being trapped or contained in a room. So it offers a lot more freedom, which clients really like. Clients especially who struggle with like making eye contact or just wanting to maybe sit in a room that doesn't or that feels quite clinical. Being outside is very different. We're side by side, we're walking together, we're on that journey together, and they don't have to make that eye contact, so it doesn't feel as awkward. It feels more natural for them. And then as you're moving, your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts are all moving as well. So it really helps with the processing side of things as well.
It sounds so amazing, and I'm so excited to start it. And that's part of the reason why I contacted you as well, because knowing like your experience and your knowledge, especially being out in nature, it made sense to kind of like you support me.
Yeah.
So where did it all start for you, Claire?
So it started back when I applied to do my Masters in Psychotherapy. I was due to submit my application form, had my topic picked out for my dissertation, and then I saw on a counselling forum somebody post a picture of their office, and it was of this woodlands, and I was just like, wait, hang on, like, we can do counselling and psychotherapy outdoors. And so I started researching it, decided at last minute to change the topic of my dissertation, and proposed to do some research in taking psychotherapy outside, and I've never looked back since.
Wow. And how long ago was that?
That was 2017, I think.
Wow. So nearly 7 years.
Yeah.
Incredible. And what would you say is the difference between, I'm a counsellor and I know you're a psychotherapist, what would you say is the difference between that?
Oh, I hate this question. Like, people just joke and just say £10 an hour. Like, I'm sure there is more to it. That was the running joke through our courses anyway. I guess it's the title of my course, the courses that I did.
Yeah.
So I did the earlier stages were in counselling, then I did counselling and psychotherapy, and then my MA was in psychotherapy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't actually know the real answer to that one.
That's okay. That's okay. And I think sometimes when you're given a question that, like, because you do it all the time, you don't really think about it, do you? It's like, for years, I always thought that I needed a degree. I always felt that that was what I needed to get to that level. But for me, it's been more about life experience that has got to me. And obviously I've got the qualifications needed, you know. I'm not like...
But there's different ways, isn't there, different routes to do those qualifications.
Absolutely. And where you are and what you're doing, it's just incredible. I just love it. It's just amazing. So before you went into like counselling, did you have a first career, or have you done that right from like studying?
So undergraduate degree when I was 18 was in psychology. I struggled a bit with anxiety. I took a year out. I went and lived abroad, came home, and then wasn't really sure what to do. So I worked in hospitality for a bit, then I became a childcare practitioner, had various different roles within childcare over those maybe 10 years or so. So I worked in nurseries, out of school clubs as a nanny, and then as the children I was looking after as a nanny grew up, kind of looked back into what was it that I really wanted to do, because I need to do something else now. And that's where I remembered where I wanted to be. And being a counsellor therapist was always where I wanted to be in the first place. And so just had a little bit of a detour to get here.
It's not stopping.
I think it'll be okay. They didn't make that much noise, did they?
No. Bear with me a minute. This is stupid. Oh, it's gone off, that's why. Right, so we know that when I say it's not stopping, can't get out the leg. Come on, you think? No. Okay, forget that. Okay, so it sounds really a really interesting journey that you've gone through, but knowing from quite early on what you wanted to do. And I guess we go through that stage, don't we, where we'll try different things to feel what is right for us. So knowing that you've got all that experience with... Okay, so we are now at a different part of Temple Newsham. I don't know if you can hear the water. I'm just going to stay quiet for a few seconds. It's wonderful. I just love it. So we're going to do a little bit of kind of an example of the way Claire works. And I'm going to be the client. And obviously, you know, there'll be nothing confidential that's spoke about or anything like that. It's just a little bit of an example, really, and also a bit of a fun challenge during our episode. Never done before, so watch out. Okay, so I'm just going to show you where we are. Here goes. Absolutely amazing. I'm just in my element. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to guide Sam through a little invitation or exercise that I might do with a client. This works really well at the beginning of a session, or if the client's feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So Sam, if you want to take a few deep breaths, just in a rhythm that feels natural for you. And just let your breath come back to normal. And just check through your senses, so what you can hear, what you can see, what you can smell, what you can taste, and what you can feel. And then just to expand this a little bit more, just taking some time to seeing what resonates for you or what's standing out for you, and just allowing yourself to notice what you notice in this moment. And then when you're ready, we can talk about it. Okay, so how did you feel doing that exercise? What came up for you?
Really calm, wanting to be at the coast, by the sea. By the sea is my happy place, and it just really kind of gives me space and freedom to just be me.
Yeah, that's really good. And then what we would do is if I was with a client, we would talk about that in more depth.
Yeah.
The exercise might last a little bit longer as well.
Yeah.
And we would just then see where that takes us with that session. So I hope that gives a good example of an exercise.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that, Claire. Okay. Oh no. So we've seen some amazing things of what Claire does for her approach as an outdoor therapist, and it just seems, oh gosh, I'm like just so calm and just feeling wonderful, and it's all creativity as well, you know. It's creativity in nature, which is obviously me as a children's counsellor, Claire as an outdoor therapist, so we connect really well together as well. We've got so much in common.
I guess like a big thing of creativity outside is the natural patterns of nature, the cycles, the seasons, and that's a big thing that I would bring into the work, helping people to understand their cycles and their seasons. That can be that's a big part of creativity as well, because you get to see it in action and you get to see those changes as you're developing and processing as an individual.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, our seasons are so important, aren't they? Particularly as women. I mean, that's something completely different. That feels a different episode completely. But as women, we all have our seasons, don't we? And it affects how we are in our moods and things. So finding them patterns in nature, especially connected to different seasons, does actually make total sense. So yeah, I get it. I get it in a way that I probably didn't realise before, and I guess if I wouldn't have spoke to you, then I would have still have a lot to understand as well about nature. So we are coming to near the end today. It's just been so different, but I've absolutely loved it. So where can people find you, Claire?
I have a website which is insidenaturewellbeing.co.uk. I'm on Instagram at inside_nature_wellbeing. It's a bit of a mouthful, that one. And on Facebook, it's just Facebook/Inside Nature Wellbeing. No underscores for Facebook, underscores for Instagram.
We'll remember that one. So, you know, you work with adults, older young people, but mainly adults. So what are your 3 tips for adults or for being in nature yourself? What would you kind of say, really?
Okay, well, I guess that these can be done by anyone, any age. Maybe just need a little bit tweaking for younger ones. So the first one is to just make time every day to be outside. That doesn't have to be a 3-hour hike. It could just be having your cup of tea with the back door open. It could be opening a window and allowing fresh air in. It could be bringing some houseplants inside and just spending some time watering them, dusting them, whatever you want to do with your houseplants, talking to them. So that's my first one. It can be really simple. It can fit into any time frame. A bigger one is to create a sit spot practice. So this was something that was encouraged during our forest therapy training, and you pick a spot in nature that you've got easy access to. So for me, it was the green near my house. Like, it could have been the garden, but I wanted something a little bit different. And I would just take 5-10 minutes each day to go and sit there. I would check through my senses, my breathing, and just check in with myself. What am I noticing? How am I feeling? Where am I holding that in my body? And that can be adapted to, again, however much time you've got, where that space is. I have a really nice sit spot that's further away and that I can't get to all of the time, but I would maybe spend more time there. So again, it's adapting to your needs and what you can fit into your day. And then finally, to just slow down, notice the small details. If you're out on a walk, what colour are the leaves? Have they changed since you last walked that way? Have any new flowers come up? Are there different smells? Are the birds noisier in this place or the other? Even listening to the rain. Pretty sure it's going to rain this afternoon, so
I'm watching it does.
Watching the rain down your windows, opening the window after it's rained to get that smell of the rain as well. Just slow down, notice those differences, those changes, the really small things, because that makes a massive difference, and again, doesn't take up too much space or time.
Thank you so much for them. So it sounds like that grounding is really important. And I noticed that you'd got bare feet. Do you have bare feet quite a lot?
Yeah, if I can.
And I've got my wellies.
Yeah. There's nothing better, like 20 minutes of barefoot outside just really grounds you, it rebalances you, and this just gives you so much, and that can be done anywhere as well. Okay, so one of the things that me and Sam were talking about before we went to the water was how we could use creativity when we're outside, and what I might put in my toolbox. And I was saying that I don't bring anything, everything is here. So I've just gathered a few things, and I might ask a client to do this whilst we're talking about something specific. Or I might give them the chance to go off and collect items themselves if they're struggling to talk and to open up. It's a bit windy now. And so they would collect some items, and then we would make a nature mandala, or they would make a nature mandala. So there's no real rules to this. They just place them how they would want to. Okay. And they would maybe talk about each thing and why they picked it. So I'm going to put this one in the center just because it looks like a tree, and that is the point of our discussion today about nature, and I want to put that as the center. I'm going to put this bigger stick along the bottom, just to symbolize grounding and having that foundation. And then these other bits I'm going to maybe put down as some branches. Again, the different aspects of what we've been talking about today, and then that clearly wants to go there, so I'm going to leave it there. These leaves then kind of maybe symbolising the wind that's picking up a little bit now, and just allowing them to become part of the project. So other things that they might talk about is maybe the different colours. So I've got a yellow leaf. This leaf I picked up because it looked red on the underside. It's kind of this really nice reddy purple. And then you don't notice that so much on that side, so I'm going to put it that way. And then each of those items might mean something different to a client. They might represent things, and they might then want to leave their mandala here. They might want to take something with them. They might want to leave parts as we're going. So sometimes they might have different things that mean different things to them, but they want to let go of them. So that I would encourage them to hold them whilst we're on our walk, and when they feel ready to let go of them as we're going. And then by the time we get back to the start, hopefully they've let go of everything that they need to.
That's amazing. Thank you for that, for explaining that. I did know what a mandala is, but I've not seen a nature mandala before, so that makes a big difference, and it's so beautiful. And yeah, everything you found here. No box of tricks needed there, Claire.
And everything can be left back to the land as well. So there's no waste, there's no rubbish, we're not leaving anything that we shouldn't be, which is very important to make sure as well that...
Definitely so. Thank you so much. Okay, so you can tell we're outside now. So I'm just going to say thank you so much, Claire, for joining me today. It's been amazing. I've got the biggest hood ever.
At least you've got a coat. We're going to make a run for it to the car.
Yes, I think so it's now pouring it down. I don't know if you can tell from the background, but we've had such a wonderful time, and this has been a real kind of different experience for an episode, but I've loved it, and I hope that I haven't made Claire feel too embarrassed as well.
No, you haven't. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So I'll be back soon with more amazing podcast episodes, but for today I will see you later, and don't forget your 3 tips of self-care. Bye for now.
Bye.